Hi everybody, it's Lotus. Today I wanted to talk with you all about a technique or a practice that I use when I work with people and for myself on a regular basis called presencing. So I call it presencing because really it's just the act of becoming present in the present moment of whatever we're feeling in particular. So it's an interiorization process of getting really closely connected to what we're feeling, maybe on very subtle levels. So, for an example, there have been a couple days this last week that I've woken up and I've just felt a little, you know, not really great. So maybe a little depressed, but not really depressed, but just a little uncomfortable, maybe a little heavy, not really sure why, kind of free floating. And my initial response, okay, is, oh, I don't want to be feeling this way. And oh, I want to be, feeling productive and I want to be feeling happy. And so, we tend to sort of want to move away from, the emotions or the feelings when we're feeling uncomfortable, which, I mean, that's normal. We don't want to feel unpleasant in our being. So we want to move away from it usually as quickly as possible. So when we start to become present, that actually becomes the way to move through whatever is going on. So for instance, I'll stick with this example. So instead of, I went out for my walk and usually I start to feel better, when I go out for my morning walk and I just enjoy the morning walks. But, I still had that kind of like, just not quite feeling up to par. So when I got back, I just took some time and I just sat. And I just got really quiet and really still and just allowed myself to breathe into this little heaviness that I was experiencing. And just by sitting and breathing into it and allowing it to be there, allowing it to be present, allowing my being to embody whatever that energy or texture, because these are just energies, whether we're excited, whether we're happy, whether we're angry, whether we're depressed, it's an expression of energy within us. So I just allowed myself to drop in and get really quiet and touch that part of me that felt a little heavy. And then I allowed it to just expand. And I just sat with it and allowed that heaviness to just become even more present. I wasn't labeling it. I wasn't judging it. I was inquiring from it. So is there something going on that I need to be aware of? Do I have something that I've been feeling sad about? I was realizing that the weather, which was great, like I was really happy that we were having a lot of rain here in LA because we really need it, and it feels good to have those breaks from the sun. But, rain and wet and clouds, that has an energy as well, right? It's a little heavier. You've got that water energy, you've got the gray skies, you've got the clouds. So it brings forth this heaviness, and it's just a quality. So I was recognizing like, oh, okay, the clouds and the rain are making me feel a little slower. And in my mind, I had things that I wanted to be getting done. I wanted to be feeling productive, and I wanted to have the things on my list that I really did need to get done. I wanted to go through them. But they are things that I enjoy doing, and yet I wasn't quite able to bring that vim and vigor to that process because I had this heaviness. And so I didn't like the way that I was feeling and experiencing the process of moving into what I needed to be done. So when I realized that I was having a preference, that I was liking or not liking the experience that I was having, that I wanted to be feeling different than I was so that I could do what I had to do and enjoy it. And I wasn't feeling quite aligned with that energetically. I recognized like, oh, it's okay. I have a choice here. I can kind of cocoon up with the way that the rain and the clouds are feeling and maybe do something that's a little lower key. Maybe do some studying and maybe some reading to align with the energy that I was experiencing. Or I could move through my list and do what I needed to do and let go of what my preferred experience of that was and just be present with whatever showed up. So just by doing this little process, I think it took like 15 minutes, right? I sat, I kind of melted into it, I embraced it, I embodied what was present, I allowed it to become conscious throughout my being, which creates, that in and of itself creates a sacred container for whatever is going on. And so much of my work is about allowing everything to be sacred. So whatever we're moving through, whatever we're embodying, how do we create the sacred moment within that? How do we allow the sacred presence to come forth? And this is a part of that process. So by the end of my 15 minutes, I realized that I really did want to do some of the things that were on my list, but I let go, of needing to get it all done and to have this kind of fire and excitement and enthusiasm with it. And instead, I just sort of flowed through it with the energy that was present. I didn't fight the energy and I wasn't depressed anymore. I didn't feel that same heaviness. I just felt more peaceful. Okay. Because there was a quietness that came over me when I recognized what I was feeling, what I was attributing to the feelings, what my expectations were of what I wanted to be feeling and what I needed to have done, or what I felt like I needed to have done. And then coming into that letting go and just allowing whatever to be present and um, still honor what needed to be done and how and where I was at in the moment. So that's that process of presencing. Today I got some news right before I sat down to do this video that I just felt like, oh, it felt so disappointing. It was just really disappointing. It kind of made my heart ache a little bit. And my initial response was I felt frustrated and I wanted to blame or get angry because that felt more empowering somehow than just feeling like, wow, I just feel really disappointed. And I didn't want to do the video because now, like, I didn't, for me, doing videos can be a vulnerable thing. So that in and of itself, I have to get present with that. And there on top of it, I felt this disappointment. And so then I just sat and I was like, breathing into it and just got really quiet and just recognized that it's okay that I'm disappointed. It's okay that something didn't go how I wanted it to go or how I had been expecting that it was going, and trust that it's perfect. It's perfect just as it is. I do my part, we all do our part, and then there's that letting go phase. So, so that's another piece of that presencing. It's just really allowing our presence to come forth, our awareness, our consciousness, our breath, and recognizing how that begins to neutralize those things that we label as, we don't want to be experiencing, and honoring what's there. And the other area that I've noticed this in is that on those times where I'm feeling super happy and, really enthused and a lot of energy, I'm sort of on that go, 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 and it all feels great, but I'm not even really presencing to that, right? So this was kind of an interesting little awareness for me. We can get very joyful, and it's a very expanded and energized state. And so the other day when I was feeling that, I was like, wow, what would happen if I just like breathed into this from this quiet, grounded, expansive state of presence? And what I noticed was that joy and that enthusiasm then began to expand even more. And what I recognized is that by attuning to that through presencing, through becoming conscious of my joy, allows me then to cultivate that sensation, that awareness in my being consciously, so that then I can call on that when I would like to. So it's almost a way of training our system, training our energy to be able to tap in, right, to that state of presence that we would love to be experiencing, to raise our vibration, so to speak, at will. So that was a really cool little exercise that I worked with. So I hope that these are helpful tips for you. And I hope that you can, sometimes when we're dealing with big things, it's easiest to have some guidance to kind of walk us down into that and keep us grounded and keep us focused. And other times, it just really is bringing these awarenesses, these practices into our daily life, into our moment to moment experience of what it is that we're doing and how we're being and what we're embodying through our life force and through our existence here on this planet, and how we are when we bring our energies to other people. So I hope this is helpful, and you can find me at www.lotuslindley.net, and I look forward to sharing more videos with you. Have a great day. Take care.